Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Kentucky's jump in coronavirus cases is raising questions about the safety of young athletes who are practicing and playing right now. Joining me now is Drew Beckett, the president of the Scott County Youth Baseball League. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, Drew, what are your thoughts about this spike in cases, specifically in children?
Well, it's of course concerning. They happen to luck out in Scott County to have a master's in public health run on their baseball league. So I bet there's not too many of those around. So I could answer different questions that people might have than probably most baseball presidents.
What is your league doing specifically to protect the athletes, the coaches, and the fans?
Yeah, quite a few things. The first thing I'd say is I think the game itself probably isn't changing. So that's why we were all excited as, coaches and parents and all that. So it's still baseball. But in a nutshell, everything else around the game has changed. So we've closed our dugouts, so the players are not in the dugouts. We've actually removed the bleachers from our fields so that parents or players or anybody can't sit in the bleachers. So all the children have a designated area to sit in that we spaced out for them 6 feet apart. So they bring their own chairs from home, and their families space out throughout our park to watch the game. So that's the spacing as far as that goes. We've also eliminated team huddles, which, that's kind of a weird feeling. Normally, every inning you run in off the field and kind of discuss what happened and get ready to bat or run out to your positions. So we've gotten rid of those. The handshakes after the game don't exist. Now we line up on the end lines and do a little tip of the cap to each other when the game's over. I'm trying to think of other things we've done. We also sanitize the baseballs. So when either between pitches or after a foul ball or between innings, each team has its own safety representative that gets the balls and cleans them and then sends them back into the pitcher. So a lot of those things are definitely very different.
What is the protocol if a player or a coach were to test positive? Then what's the next step?
It would be different for different people, of course, and we do follow all the local and state guidelines as far as that goes. So we'd have to assume the health department would ask that the player or the coach or their family quarantine for 14 days. So, of course, we're asking the same thing. And if it's a family member, maybe that they know or have interacted with but don't necessarily live with, if the player can go and get tested and have a negative test, then they're welcome to come back and play. But other than that, we follow the 14-day quarantine, just like everybody else.
Have you had any cases in any of the teams? I know for HIPAA reasons, obviously, I'm not, you can't name anybody, but anything that you've been made aware of so far?
Yeah, not yet. We've been pretty blessed. We're trying to squeeze a season here down into like 6 weeks or 2 months, and we're about halfway through. So just hoping and praying we can make it another month. And I think all the kids are loving getting to play, and I think us parents are enjoying as much or more than them just getting out of the house and watching them interact with each other.
Absolutely. And from your health background standpoint, what are your thoughts with all the uncertainty right now about what's going to happen with sports in the schools?
That's a great thing. I guess I ran the health department for 7 years before my current position. So I guess I'm excited I'm not doing that right now. But yeah, it's going to be difficult to pull off. I think baseball or softball, things like that, might be one of the easier sports to do it because you're naturally distanced anyway with positions and everybody going to assigned spots. Some of the other sports, I really don't know how they're going to pull that off, especially with, like you said earlier, cases back on the rise. So power to anybody else who has to pull that off.
Yeah. Drew Beckett, thank you so much for your time, and we wish you the best of luck with the league and continued healthy athletes and coaches. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And stay with us. There's more to come here on Hey Kentucky.